Hey guys, what's up? This is Hussein Tabi and it's crazytoonstudio.com. And let's continue with our lighting part in 3D architecture visualization course. Today is 25th lecture and this lecture is about 3-point lighting system. Okay, so first we will see how this particular 3-point light technique works, and then we will use that in a 3D interior scene, in a minimalistic scene, that how you can create those good lighting effect, uh, which has very on the scene which has very little interior things. So let's get started and see first that how 3-point lighting works. So let me create a small scene here. So let's take a plane here. All right, you can just practice like this. What I'm showing you right now, I'm just giving you a presentation of 3-point lighting system. Okay, that doesn't mean that this is your assignment, because in the last lectures what you have done is what I'm showing you as an example. You are doing same in an assignment. No, you don't have to do that. As I told you before, what I'm showing you here is a technique, and then you have to apply those techniques on your scene, like I'll show you just now after finishing this thing. So let me create one teapot here. Sorry, teapot, auto grid on, and it's nothing off for now. And let's just create it. Okay, and instead of creating this plane, let me create V-Ray plane. I think that would be fine. So you can go here in standard, and here you have V-Ray and you have V-Ray plane. Now this plane is like when you just click and drag, click here, and you will have this plane here. Okay, what this plane does is this will create infinite floor, endless floor it will create here. Go to the front and check that your teapot should be properly placed here. Okay, so this is the perspective view. Let me increase the segment of the teapot to make it more smooth. So I'll just increase the segments. Okay, then I'll go to the top view and make a camera. Let's go to the front. Okay, and I have my camera on the desktop, I guess. Here it is. Here is my camera. Let's put this here. Go to the top view, take it back, just turn off this target and you'll get it. Okay, and when I press C, I'm having my camera ready. So let me adjust for now for this particular scene, or let's take it straight. Let's make a render setting first. I'll take my low preset here. It's not there for now. Let's take it high and we'll make it low afterwards. Okay, so I just want this one very small. This GI, let me see how much. Very low, that's nice. And light cache, it's too much, make it 300. And in here let's make this one maybe maximum 4 for now. That's just fine. So I have this scene here. Okay, so now the scene is ready and now we have to light this. Okay, So now how 3-point light works is you have to choose 3 points which will light this in. This actually happens in studios. Alright, in studio, if you have gone for passport size photo, to shoot passport size photo most of the time, or maybe modeling photography, you have those sports lights, box lights, alright, which covered you. You have uh, so many things going on there. The main thing, why they use those things, you need to understand that thing. Okay, so here is like you have to decide that what are the 3 points that will light your scene. So 3 points are like, one is key light, second is fill light, and third is backlight. Key light is the main light which will light your object. Example, in this case, let's take one light here. Okay, plain light, and I'll create one plain light here. Then go to the front, take it a little up, and I'll rotate towards the teapot. Okay, and we can do one more thing here. We can on the target and take this target aligned to the teapot. Okay, so the light will be always on teapot. So this, let's say maybe our key light. So this is my first point. So when I go to the camera and I know that my key light is here, so when you go to the render, you will see something like this. Now here you can see we have the sky, which I don't want. So let me remove those things which I don't want. Okay, because I used my preset, and in that preset I have some effects. Now okay, so now you can see everything is black. Only one light is working, and that is my key light. So what I want to show is I want to light this teapot with the main source of light in the right side. Maybe this can be a light, or maybe the open window, open door, from wherever the light can come. Okay, so let's increase the intensity and let's adjust some camera settings here. So as we learned in our last lectures, the very first thing we will do is adjust our camera. So in the camera here, what I'll do is I'll off this vignette. I don't want that black edges here. Then this should be neutral, and as this will be my interior scene, this must be 50. And my model should contain a gray model, and that should be V-Ray. Okay, that should be V-Ray, as we are working with V-Ray always. Okay, now let's see the difference between that and this render. You can see big difference here. Now the light is much more better, because before the shutter speeds was more, and because of that we were facing the darkness here. So now you can see clearly that our teapot is lit up very nice. Okay, the floor is blue. I'll put the same material later on the floor also, but let's see how it looks. And this is nice. I like it. I don't want to change the intensity for now, but let's do some changes in lighting, I guess. Let's see what we are having this side. Now you can see, as we have only one light in the scene in the right side, which is our key light, this side is dark, right? But obvious, because we have only one light this side. So now how we can light up this one? So we have to use the second light, the second point, which is fill light, which will only we will create to fill up this area. So that means what? The intensity which our first key light is having, the fill light should be half of it, or whatever it is, but lesser than our key light. Okay, so the first thing, I will adjust my key light again. I want a little bit more lighting here, and I want to make a fast render here. The render is very slow for now because I have some advanced setting here, and I want to decrease those settings so that we can work a little fast. Get this, but okay, okay. All right, we'll see. So here, let's put the same material, and let's select our key light here. Go here and let's take this radiant power, which is only 10, make it 20, just double the amount of intensity, and let's see how it looks. So here you can see little more light, and we have the same gray texture here, because as I told you before that I always prefer to light the gray scene first, and after the perfect lighting setup I started texturing. Okay. All right, I like it. Rather than texturing everything, why not we can only take this part? So it will save our time. This much is enough. Okay, let's this finish and I will get back. Alright guys, so you can see here the render of the key light, and I think it's good. I'm happy with it for now. And let's create now the fill light. So let this minimize, go to the top view, and I will copy the same light and we'll put just opposite of it, not instance but a copy, because I want exactly half intensity of this on this. So let's make this one 10, and this will be my fill light. Okay, which we will use to just fill up the black part. So now let's go and check the render. So here you can see that you can see here the key and fill light is working nice, but I think I have to reduce little more intensity for this fill light, right? Because there is no contrast and I want a little bit of a contrast here. Okay, and when the intensity of this thing is higher and this thing is lower, make sure that I mean it should be that the fill light shadow should not be visible here, and you can see it's visible here. All right, so make sure this thing, because the fill light is actually a fake light. All right, and there cannot be two shadows when you are using 3-point lighting system. The key light should be heavy. So either there are two things now. Either I should increase the key light intensity, or should I decrease more this one. I think I should increase the intensity of key light. So let's make it 35 and let's just check this part and see what happens. You can see now the key light's intensity is much more intense than this one, right? Because that is only 10 and this one is 35. So you can see the shadow will also be very diffuse, very much diffuse than before, and you will not be able to guess that there is one more light. See, the shadow is almost disappear. Okay, so now I guess this will look awesome when we will look the whole teapot. Let's render this part again. Okay, so let's render this one and I'll get back to you once this is finished. And here you can see, now we can see the contrast here. I want a little more contrast, but I don't want to burn this part, so I'll decrease this light a little bit. Okay, so let's select the fill light and let's decrease this to make half of this, and let's just check how it looks. I guess this one now what I want. So give me 5 minutes and I'll get back to you. Yeah, so here is the render. Okay, and I guess this is fine. Still I need a little bit intensity here, and plus let's add the backlight. So I'll just increase a little bit intensity here in the key light, make it 45, that's it, and I'll not render for now. Let's add backlight also and then we will render. So for backlight what I'll do is I'll create another light here in the back. I'm sorry, not like this. Let's off the target, but it's not working. This one is the top right. Yeah, and because of the target this is working like this. Okay, so okay, so it happens because the target was on, I was unable to create a light in this direction. Okay, so I had to off the target of this light, because when you do any change in one light, that 3ds Max remember that, and when you try to create a new light, the same setting will come here in the in this light. Okay, I mean when you create a new light. So now when you create new light, this setting will come because I have changed the settings. So for now I don't want, I would just want this backlight to be here. Go to the front and check, and I want in the top, go to the left and check. This is in the back, absolutely, and a little bit rotation I will give, so that will, you know, come in this direction. Mostly we do this light, we make this light with this backlight to specify the difference between the background and the object. But here we don't have any background, so why we are doing the backlight? Why I'm doing this is for, you know, to light up this part, so we get very nice effect here on the edges, right? Let me show you what we can get with this. So let's render here. Okay, let's render not much, little part of it, so that we can save our time and we can go ahead. All right, here we have a complete black part. In interiors mostly we won't have these things, we always have walls. So you can see this effect, see this, it's nice effect. This is actually coming because of that backlight, otherwise this will be black. Let me increase a little bit of intensity for the backlight. The back part will be completely burned, but it doesn't matter as we are looking in the front of the keyboard. Okay, let's make this 60 and check. Okay, so now as we have our all three lights together, I'll do one more change here with the fill light. Let's decrease this with 3 only, and now let's see how it looks. So once the render is finished, I'll be back. Yeah, so the render is finished and you can see that we have a nice contrast here and the render is fine. Now it depends on the scene, how much light you want here, right? How much contrast you want. Two things I changed here which I want to share with you in the backlight. One thing, make sure that your backlight should be invisible and it should not cast shadows. Otherwise it will burn here. I mean, the shadow will be in the front, then the key light is here, so the shadow should be here. All right, so for the backlight, don't forget to off the shadow, and it should be invisible. And third thing, it should exclude the video plane. If you don't exclude, then the plane, the floor will be burned out. So you can see only this edge is burning, which we call rim here. And the backlight is also called rim light in animations when we make render passes and everything. But for now, I think this is fine. Now this technique we can use in our interiors. All right, so let me show you how and where we can use. So let me open the scene here. I would like to save this one. Okay, and let's open this one. Okay, so here is the scene. You can see the full gray model. Now few students asked me few days back that if we are rendering one particular shot like this, is it necessary to create the whole room, whole interior? So my answer is no, it's not necessary. What materials you have, that is also important, but for now, as we have not gone through the material part, I would say there is no need of creating the whole room. Okay, you can see this scene here, and when I go to the perspective view, you can see here I have only this wall and this floor. That's it. Okay, why? Because the client want to see only this part, so I just adjusted the camera The same setting what we did in the previous scene. Just now we finished with the teapot. The same camera I imported here, nothing else. 50 shutter speed and vignette off. Okay, and neutral white balance. That's it. And the same lighting I'm going to do here, and you will see the difference at how this will look. Okay, so here let me create the key light here. Let's say that here's a door which is open, maybe something like that. And here we have walls, so the contrast should be there. And here we also have lamp, so we can create one light here also. So let's start and see where we end. I'll go to the top, or better I'll go to the front, or left would be fine. Yeah, I'm on that side, but no problem. Let's create here one light. Okay, this should not go down, all right, than the floor. The light should be up. Go to the top, and from top you can adjust here. So here I want this the camera, right, and here I want the key light. So I'll rotate this one to this side. Okay, let me see what settings I'm having right now. The radiant power 60, I would like to make it 100 for now. By default, we'll adjust later on. This I want here. Okay, now you can off this, not a problem. That's nice. And cast shadow on. I want shadows. Invisible, it's your choice. I don't want. So let's now render and see what I have. Nice. Let's see the full render. Why this is hung up? Oh my goodness. So let's this problem solved now, and I'll get back to you. Alright, so here I decrease the size of the render so we can work a little faster, and the software will not get crash. Okay, so you can see here the fill light effect. Okay, now here I'll give a little pinch here. I'll make change in the color of this, and I'll also create one fill light to cover this area. Okay, because here you can see it's completely black. So let's do the changes, and here I'll select this one and I increase a little bit size of it. Okay, at least this one, this much enough. And then I'll choose temperature instead of color, and I'll make this one 7,000. Okay, little more, little bluish here. Okay, and I'll select this one, copy, pause it, should face this side, and the temperature should be half of it. Let's say around 3,500. This will be too much, make it 4,000. Little warm effect, and 50 would be fine for now. And let's see what we get. So you can see this contrast. I love this kind of, warm and cool light effect. It looks like a lamp or something lit up here, but this is actually too much. I'll reduce this one. Let's say something around 5,000. This is nice, a little lighter. This one is enough, but I guess I will increase the intensity of this one. Let's make it 120 something. And now let's see what I have got. So let's the render finish and I'll get back. So the render is finished and you can see a nice contrast here. This looks like something opening, something open here, like a door or a window, and here the inside light. Okay, like a lamp, or maybe there is one room where the light is on or something like that effect. It doesn't matter if you make it more realistic and more good and attractive. This one, the client will be happy, and that's it. So to make a photorealistic thing, you should follow a little bit of a real life things. So I think I like it. I mean, this area is not burned. This effect is looking very nice here on this one. This one you can see light up with the orange one, and this one is the blue. Now here we have more black part. So here the third light will come. Okay, so here we don't put backlight as we have a wall here. So the backlight will be actually works like something we have on the top. Because if you have a ceiling, you must be having some lights there, but we can't see here in the scene. It's not visible, so you can just take any light, a plain light, and you can give those effects. So let's add one light here, go to the top, and I will add one video light here, go to the right or left, anywhere you want, take it up, and like on the back, and if you remember, backlight works like this. This time we'll put this in the front, sorry, like this. Okay, and it should cover maximum part, so I will increase this, and this will not be 120, otherwise it will burn your scene. Maybe 50, let's see. I think this is all even more, but we'll see how it works in the scene, and then we'll decide how much it should be. So let's see the render, and I think it will burn the room, it will burn the effect. Let's pause this one and make this one even half of 50. There's 25, and this one even I don't like. Make it 10 and see, because we are just filling up the area. I feel this is nice. Let me see. I'll get back to you once this is done. Okay, or let's just render this one. So this one is like, it should not burn and the contrast should not fade away, right? The contrast should be there, otherwise the real feel will not be there. Now you can see this fading up here. Okay, the shadows, the shadow part, but that's okay because this one is looking nice. Okay, so what I'll do, let's make it a little more down, make it half of this one, and let's see how much the intensity is now. Perfect. I think I like this. Here we have orange, this blue, and nobody will see that there is a light. It looks like this one is filled up with those two lights. So here the concept is like hidden lights, fake lights. Okay, but when you see the scene all together, it should look just awesome. That's it. So the question, your question was that a few students asked me the question that, is it necessary to make the full room? No, it's not necessary. Right, you can see here just one wall, one floor, and few minimalistic design, furnitures, lamps, frames, and done. Okay, it's not necessary that you You make ceilings and make the environments. Not necessarily. Yeah, if you have some glass things here and you want to see, then you can create some. You can use HDRI lighting here, but you don't have to go, that far. These techniques are just good enough to show this, and this hole will be filled up. Once you do the texturing, the lighting will be a little bit changed. Obviously, it will not look like this because when you make a floor, that will reflect. So many things will come here. The wood, the steel, all will behave like different or differently behaved, and according to that you need to change a little bit lighting later on. But maximum part, when you light on the gray, this is enough. When you are happy on the gray, then it will definitely look good on when you text it. Now here one more thing I would like to add, and then we'll do the final render and we'll wind up this lecture. Okay, so let's just add one light here. So here what I will do, I'll just create one sphere. Okay, multiplier 5 should be great for now. This one 2. Okay, go to the front and check. Here it is. I'll put this here. Let us see how this looks. Where is the render? Here it is. I just want to see this part. And there's not much light, I guess. Right? So what you want? Obviously, I want increase in multiplier. No. Let me check, something is wrong here. This one is full covered, I guess. No, I don't want to cover this. Just ungroup. This is ungroup. Let me delete this part. And this part. And now let's see. See, this is burned, so I guess that was good before. Because of that was covered, I don't know how. Maybe the model is like that. So I can select the light and I can come here and make it 5 again, not more than that. And I think this will look good when it is, bit orangish. Yeah, awesome, just awesome. So let's render this one, the full render with a little bit more resolution, make it 1000, and let's see how it looks. So I'll get back to you once this one is finished. Alright, till then go and have a cup of a coffee or tea. So I'll get back to you in 5 minutes. So here is the final render, and you can see, right, the smooth lighting here, nothing is burning. So later the other stuff we can change in Photoshop, or we can do some curves adjustment here. Okay, and obviously after adding some textures we will change a little bit of lighting here, but this is how you can start your lighting. of this kind of a scene, and then do the texture, then adjust those according to that, then render, and we'll adjust more lighting in Photoshop. Okay, so first thing, remember that there is no need of creating the full room. You can just create few things and you can achieve this kind of render. And still there's a lot more you can do, like play with the top light, increase a little bit intensity here. Alright, increase the render settings so that we can solve this splotches issues. Okay, so this is the thing, and start the practice, and that's it. And next class, now we are going to start with texturing, and you see how we can create textures like wood, glass, plastic, and so on. So this is the last class of the lighting, so start working on it. Hope to see good output from you guys. Send me your assignments on my email ID and I will reply you. Okay, so this is enough for the day. Bye, good night, take care, see ya.